welcome to my channel. So if you guys have already watched my videos on how I make my cookies, on how I get the royal icing going, what I use to make these cookies, then it is finally time for us to get ready to decorate these cookies. And if you have not watched those videos, make sure that you watch them. Or you could also just watch me make some pretty cookies, and that is fine too. We are not here to judge, we are here to grow. Today we are making Frankenstein and pumpkin cookies. I am so excited to do this with y'all. So with that, let's get it started. So I absolutely love this idea for pumpkins. I did see it on Pinterest. I've seen it multiple times, so I don't know who to thank, but whoever started it in the first place, thank you. So what we're going to do to first start off is it's just like doing your outlines. So if you were to be using a coloring book and you've got a crayon, you want to just kind of fill out all of the edges before you go and put in and use the rest of your crayon. So we are first and foremost going to start with the sides and the siding. So I like to start in the middle. First, give us our little circle. And make sure that you don't squeeze too hard, because if you squeeze too hard, then the piping is going to come out way too fast, and we don't want that. So very gently, and then also kind of let it just fall. So I'm barely squeezing, and I'm keeping it kind of up so I can see what pattern it's going in, and then I just click it together. Nothing perfect, nothing too pretty, but it's gonna look good. So again, I'm just letting it fall, and I click it together. Same over here. And click it together. And a little tip that I love is, so I just get any kind of ordinary toothpick. And with the toothpick, you are able to kind of help, and I wouldn't say it's like an eraser, but it's like an editor. Helps you edit a little bit of stuff. Great, so we're just gonna, if there's anything in here that you're not a big fan of, and just very, very gently move that over. Or connect that and smush it into the line. So I'm barely touching this because we don't want for the icing to get super broken. This piping icing, it gets super solid very quickly. So we have the outline for our pumpkin. And then what we're going to do is we're just gonna take the fill and again, very gently squeeze. Just like that, we're gonna squeeze it. I like to start in the middle, because once I start in the middle, then I'm able to take my toothpick and I'm able to kind of move this icing into the corner. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to start off in the corner, because then it's going to go over and melt into the other side. Again, make sure you're kind of using, just like if you were to use a paintbrush, you're just kind of going to the sides, back and forth. Now I'm going to bring this closer to the middle. Take those sides, if it looks like it's about to bleed over, just move that closer to the middle. And if there's any part of the cookie that also looks like it is super dense, like you can kind of put your toothpick in and already see the bottom of it, just make sure that you evenly spread that fill. And another thing to also keep an eye out for is sometimes when you are doing all of this with your fill, some bubbles might show up. Just take your toothpick and pop them, because those bubbles will harden and we don't want any holes in our cookies. Perfect. Very gently. I've noticed that whenever you kind of spiral, it kind of makes the fill just go over itself. And that's what's gonna make it dry super smooth. Ta-da! See guys, and just like that, we have finished one side. Didn't take long at all. So we are just going to do the exact same thing. Fill it on the other side too. Start in the middle. Then a little bit on the sides, nothing too crazy, but also get some good layers. We don't want not enough. Great, kind of spiral all around, make sure that there's no bubbles. Make sure that the icing is nice and to the level that we want. Not too dense. There we go. There we go. One more little bubble. Just gonna pop that one right there. Perfect. And we've got both of our sides done. So now, just to finish it off, we've got the middle. Again, we are starting in the middle. We're squeezing it, but not too hard. You can always add more icing, but you can't take the icing away. Perfect. And now what we're going to do is we are going to take the brown and fill in the top of the pumpkin. Remember guys, not too hard. And then take the fill. There's not much of it, so it's a little slow. And this, with this fill, since it's not much, you can just put a little dot on there and just move that all over. And just like that, we've got ourselves a pumpkin. And as you can see, this is why this is my favorite part. The prep takes more time than it takes to actually make the cookies and decorate them. Great. And so now, just to finish it off, we're just gonna add some vines. So you're gonna gently squeeze it. Just do one little loop and let it land. And on the other side as well, squeeze, one little loop, and you let it land. Perfect. And we're just gonna use a toothpick to soften those endings. And there you guys go. We've got ourselves a wonderful pumpkin. Okay, y'all, and now it is time for us to start our Frankenstein. I'm so excited. Now, I'm someone who I love not too scary movies, and if it is very scary, then I will watch it just out of the ability that I can't move. So these Frankensteins are going to be very, very cute. So we are going to start with our outline. Remember, you're going to touch on the corner, not too much pressure, and you're going to lift. And touch it down. Easy peasy. Same on the other side. We're going to touch, not too hard, and just lift. Perfect. And touch it down. And then we're going to take the bottom and we're going to connect these two. And touch it down. Great. So now we are going to take the black and outline the top of them. So we're going to touch this side. Lift it and touch the other side. Perfect. And we gotta give this guy some hair. So just some triangles. Touch down, move, touch down, back up, touch down, and back to the corner. Perfect. So as I did before, guys, if you ever have one part that's just standing up, you're just gonna take your handy dandy toothpick and just smooth it back down. Great. We're already like halfway there. So now what I'm gonna take is I'm going to get the fill for the green. And as I said before, you're just gonna start in the middle. Really squeeze in the middle. Kind of move up, get these corners. And we're squeezing. And then a very, very quick, thin layer for the edges. Now that right there is gonna be a good amount. So we're just gonna take our toothpick. So I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit and I'm gonna start a new one. The best thing about these designs is if you have a cookie that doesn't come out exactly like a square, that is totally fine. That's what outlining is for. So one of my tips is if you ever have something where the piping disconnects, all you're gonna do is just take a little bit of that piping that you have and just connect it with your toothpick. So see, I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit there. Take my toothpick and just lightly dot, light, and connect the two. Ta-da! Great. Coming back and filling it. And if it ever looks like the fill is also going super slow, just take one of those toothpicks and just pop it right in there. And it's gonna come out quick and fast, just like before. So we just got ourselves a little bit of that black. That is totally fine. We're just gonna take a toothpick, just layer that over there. Layer it over. Again with the dots, just dotting it, dot, dot, dot. So it can kind of cover that black. And then we just swirl and we move on. Not the end of the world. Just a little bit more green. If I can swirl and see the bottom of the cookie, then that means that it needs some more. And again, whenever you do have bubbles, all you gotta do is just move that and swirl it a little bit to where there's more icing and they'll go away. Okay, so now he has a Frankenstein friend. So as you can see, this one has hardened compared to this one. And that is perfect because now we can give him some features. So also a really good tip is that you are going to make sure, always check that before you use your piping after not using it for a while, always make sure that it hasn't hardened. If it has, you're just gonna take the top and just do it like that, and it should be totally fine. So, first and foremost, we are going to add some googly eyes. So what I like to do, let's actually switch them, put this guy over here to dry. What I like to do is kind of use my piping as glue. I'm gonna give one dot here for an eye and one dot here for an eye. And then all you're gonna do is just take your little googly eye and drop that right on top. And And for the piping that you use to get the eye on there, it really doesn't have to be much at all, as long as it's just able to connect the eye to the cookie. So we're gonna give this guy a little bit of a smile. Again, not using a lot of pressure whatsoever. And he's Frankenstein, so he's gotta have a little bit, there's some stitches going on. Again, just dot, cross it over, dot again, dot, cross it over, and dot again. This is when I'm gonna bring in my toothpick. Make sure that these corners are come up a little bit. I'm just gonna smooth them right back in. Give myself a line. Perfect. And all he's missing, again, taking the top, is a nose. And you got yourself a Frankenstein. So, I like for there to be more than one Frankenstein, because I love to change their expressions. And barely anything for the glue. Give him a little nose. This one's freaked out. And there you go. We've got ourselves two Frankensteins. Okay, y'all, and just like that, we have a Frankenstein cookie and a pumpkin cookie. As you saw, it is so easy to get these guys done. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see more cookies like this, like next week when we are doing scary cookies, make sure that you do hit that bell so you'll be notified when I pop in some new videos. Thank you again for joining me, and I'm gonna go eat these guys.